if everything I see around me is really a dream, and if I'm really creating every single being and everything that I see around me, how could everyone be forming me? Is it that if I'm creating all this, is it only me experiencing this reality, or is every one of us really kind of co-creating everything at the same time, or are we all seeing a different picture in front of our eyes?
Okay, this is a good question. First, you have to understand that the I that is the creator is not the ego I. The ego is a dream within the dream. And yes, the ego has a limited ability to project upon others and influence them and affect them, and is indeed affected by them. But the entirety of the play is choreographed by an intelligence that is beyond the subjectivity of any particular ego. And that is why it is important to return to that universal self that has the greater intelligence of a holistic nature that understands the entirety of the process that we are in the midst of, and is not caught up in its own dream within the dream. By letting go of that, then we are able to see the real self in the other. You can only see in the other as much as you have realized in oneself. And so if you are in the ego mind, then all you can see and perceive are the egos of others. And that creates karma, that creates a sense of multiplicity and of a kind of a gaming and a strategizing and a power play, a territoriality. The ego is always engaged in trying to assure its security and having objects of desire available and having various kinds of abilities to control its apparent destiny. But once we understand that we have no control of that sort at the ego level, synchronicities happen, windows of opportunity open and close, not at the ego's desire. The ego is not the dreamer of this dream, of the real dream. And it is only when we open up to the real dreamer that then those abilities to transcend the dream within the dream to the real, the greater dream, and then to the mind of the dreamer itself becomes open to us. And it's this shifting from the smallest mind to the mind of the soul, and then the mind of the Atman and the Paramatman, that is the process as it will appear in its unfoldment in time, of the maturation and the rising of the Kundalini until it is experienced as one with the infinite light and power of being. And then these questions will no longer be retained in the mind. But at the ego level, we could say that, yes, there's an intersubjective solipsism that the ego is subject to and conditioned by. Everyone is alone in their own dream. They really are not touched by others because they are only encountering their own fantasies projected. And so one only recognizes the real and what is true once the ego has fallen, and one's ability to receive the real self as it manifests in every being has become open, because one's heart is now unconditionally open to all beings. And that cannot happen so long as the ego is trying to protect its body and its territory and whatever else it thinks it possesses. So the letting go of that will show you that the apparent solipsistic disunity of each ego dream or nightmare is contained within a harmonious whole that once the ego is dropped brings the realization that everything that happens is perfect, and the one intelligence is animating everyone to come to the optimal karmic culmination of this great cosmic drama that we are playing our part in. I hope that's of help to you.